Syria's new Minister of Agriculture, Mohammad al-Ahmad, says he plans to create 10 million jobs in the sector. He's pledged to tackle climate change and says Syria will re-examine international treaties on water resources. Al Jazeera's Osama bin Javaid spoke to the minister in Damascus.
And what are you doing to restore it?
During
the past 2 months, we have been concentrating on facilitating the return of farmers by providing them with loans, because farmers are the backbone of the agricultural sector, which is in turn the backbone of the Syrian economy. We are keen for farmers to come back and invest more in the agriculture sector and make use of the available resources. We are assisting livestock farmers by providing them with larger quantities of animal feed at lower prices, keeping in mind the rainwater retention we face in the region. And we are starting repairs on government irrigation projects that provide farmers with water at reduced prices, because, as you know, irrigation constitutes the biggest cost in the sector.
How many people are employed in the agriculture sector in Syria, and where do you think you will take it so that there is an opportunity of employment for the Syrian people in the agriculture sector?
About 2.1 million people work in the agriculture sector. We want to increase that number at least fivefold with new Syrian and Arab investments in the country. We will also encourage local agricultural manufacturing and marketing investment projects, and we will increase the percentage of arable land.
Talk to me about the statistics. How much of Syrian land is currently arable? What is the percentage that it is providing to the economy? And in the next 3 to 6 months, where do you want to take it?
Arable land makes up 20% of Syria, mainly in the plains regions where livestock feed usually grows. Land that relies on irrigation constitutes 30% of arable land. However, that percentage dropped because of the former regime's practices, including its transgressions against both private irrigation projects as well as governmental irrigation projects. In addition, the former Agriculture Ministry's neglect and failure to rehabilitate and maintain the land has caused a major reduction in arable land. That might be the most significant challenge we are currently facing.
You're facing a number of challenges that you highlighted. Are the sanctions having an impact on the Ministry of Agriculture? And how are you going to go about bringing in, because you're going to need machinery, you're going to need expertise, you're going to need manpower, you're going to need energy. All of that, does it also have any impact from the sanctions that have been put on Syria?
The agricultural sector's most unique characteristic might be that the resources it needs are mostly available locally, except perhaps technologically sophisticated machinery, which we rely on a number of international organizations to supply.
One of the major challenges that the entire region, and Syria in particular, is facing is climate change. You've had one of the driest years in this year. How are you going to provide water, and what are you going to do to make sure that in the coming years, not just now, but in the coming years, you will be able to provide people with water and whatever is needed to make sure that the agriculture of Syria continues despite climate change, which is expected to worsen in coming years?
Climate change has affected the entire Middle East in recent years, and Syria, with its biodiversity, might be one of the regions that will be negatively affected, especially the agricultural sector. This would require us to amend our plans for the coming years. The first step we are taking is to gather proper and accurate data on water resources and to adjust our production levels based on that data, especially in terms of droughts and drops in underground water and river levels. This will include re-examining international treaties with Iraq, Turkey, Jordan and Lebanon on shared water resources. We are also going to conduct accurate and reliable studies on the types of vegetable crops that we have in terms of their water and energy needs, and develop the necessary plans accordingly. We have directed the Department of Agricultural Scientific Research to produce drought-resistant strains of crops and to adapt production methods based on the circumstances created by climate change.
It sounds like a great plan, but you're going to require a lot of investment. Where's the money going to come from?
The Ministry of Agriculture and those involved in the sector will create a new framework of investment that will increase the sector's contribution to GDP. We will also discuss the activities and investment roadmap that can be presented to investors.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.